folks. It's Sty North. Well, my last video I did kind of like a follow-up to my clear-cut video. And that was over by I was standing on the beaver dam right by the beaver hut. And after that video, I hiked out around, went all the way around the south side and around the north, and then came back down a back trail and worked my way all the way back here to what we consider our favorite pond site. And as you can see, what a nice bushcraft chair, huh? I had a bunch of these lawn chairs at my old home, and when I left there to move out here permanently, I brought them all with. I don't know, I had 8 or 10 of them. So we hauled 4 of them out here, and we keep them here in the brush, hid in the brush here, for when we want to come out here in the evenings and just sit in a lawn chair and enjoy the sunset. We get beautiful sunsets because the far end of the pond is due west, so we get to see the sun just set back there. It's beautiful as the colors come across the pond. And we can come out here, just pull a chair out of the brush, sit down, have a nice drink and a cup of coffee or whatever, a cold one, whatever you got with you, and just observe, watch the wildlife. We see the beavers coming through here all the time. That they're always busy. Now that we got a second beaver hut coming on this pond, they've extended. I noticed now. I went back in there quite a ways. They've extended the dam, the beaver dam, about 75 feet just since last summer. So, and it looks like they're going to keep extending that, and they'll flood out about another 2 acres. Fortunately, that 2 acres that will be flooding out is all lowland and has very little timber in it. So hopefully, and there's some pines, but they're sitting on high ground. They'll never get the water high enough to hurt those pines, which is nice. So the pines will make it, but all of the other trees in there will eventually die out. So that's the beaver pond. So what this video is about, and I'm going to try to just go through this kind of quick, I hope. I hope I can do this quickly. And it comes from a viewer of mine sent me a personal message instead of posting a comment and said, when you did your 5 C's plus 1 out at the lean-to, you called them the 5 C's of survival when it should be the 5 C's of survivability. And they said, just, don't mean to make you stand corrected, they said, but that's the proper way it's supposed to be said. Well, one thing you'll learn about Sty North is Sty North isn't always that proper. I don't play word games. I don't like to play word games. Okay, survivability, survival. Then all of a sudden, after I got to thinking about that message, I got to thinking about it pretty seriously. I thought, now wait a minute. Okay, and I went and I looked at other people's videos on the 5 C's, lots of them. I think I looked at a little over 30, 35 of them. And yeah, there's 5 C's of survivability. Some people say the 10 C's of survivability. Some say the 13, the 14, the 25. I don't care how many C's you have. That the more C's you have, the better it is for you. I think the 5 C's of survivability, they call it, in its bare minimum, the 5, is what a person should at least have with them. Okay? So that's that end of it. But now on this issue of survival versus survivability, I will continue to call it the C's of survival, because survivability implies that if you have those 5 C's, you're going to be able to survive. Now, I can take issue with that. I've been involved with situations where people have gotten themselves in a bad state out in the outdoors, and they had the 5 C's with them, and they didn't make it. They didn't make it. They didn't make it out. Come to find out that, yeah, they had the 5 C's with them, but they weren't able to apply the appropriate methods to utilize those 5 C's properly. So when you say survival, when you say the 5 C's, each one of those items are going to help you survive. But if you don't have the survivability, those 5 C's aren't going to do you a lot of good. They might help, but they're not going to do what you would expect them to do for you. So I hope people don't take issue with me on this, because it's just my point of view. I believe survival. We all need to learn survival. I learned that the day I was born. I came out kicking, thrashing, screaming, and hollering because I wanted to survive. I was hungry. I needed to breathe. But I was cold. I needed to be cuddled. I needed to be warm, so I knew I wanted to be warm. Survival, the nature of survival, is inbred into us. Survivability is something we learn. So, this is just a challenge for food for thought. Each of you take it your own way. Apply it the best you can for yourselves. But I ask that you think about that. Think about, what is survival? Survival itself, in itself, is our nature. We want to survive. We'll do whatever we have to, whatever we can conceive of to survive. Now, survivability is the ability to survive, to know that you can apply specific abilities to a certain circumstance and you shall survive it. That's survivability. So, as far as word games goes, that's about as far as Sty likes to go with word games. But survival versus survivability, I think I'm going to stick with the 5 C's of survival. And my clients, I'm sure, would agree with me that they come here to learn survivability. And we take it beyond that, and we teach them thrivability. We teach them that they can have the ability to thrive in the outdoors, not just survive. So that's my take on survival and the 5 C's of survivability, which you will hear Sty from now on calling it the 5 C's of survival. But that's it. That's where I am on it. I hope people don't take issue. I'm not doing this video to create a word game. I'm doing it to respond to a word game. So I wanted to apply some facts and some practical common sense to the word game, and that's where I stand on the difference between survival versus survivability. I want to thank you all for watching. Hey, please subscribe. Hey, check us out at wildernessThriving.com. And Jim and Rory say hello as always. They'd love to see you out here. And this is Sty North saying, I'm checking out for now, but you all have a nice day.